Today, what I want to talk about is how to handle feedback that is tough and still be a student even in those times. Because it's always really challenging to get feedback that isn't what you want to hear, or be told that you're doing something wrong, or something that you need to improve on, that maybe you even thought you were doing really well, and it's kind of like earth-shattering news that you're not as good as you think you are, especially when you're working really hard as it is, right? My best advice for this is, if you're being given feedback, number one, just understand that the person isn't taking time out of their day to ruin yours. That's just not the case. Like, they didn't wake up that morning and think, you know what I want to do? I want to hurt Amanie's feelings today and make it so she is unmotivated to do a great job at work today. That's just never going to be the case. So if somebody's taking time out of their day to give you feedback to begin with, it's an opportunity to really just count, your blessings for having somebody that cares so much that they're willing to have the tough conversation, knowing that you might not like them, knowing that you might feel a type of way about them afterwards, and still do it anyway, because they're like, what's more important is them growing, not them feeling like I'm the nicest person in the world. And that's always really helped me handle the feedback better, is just knowing that, hey, I know this is tough for them too, but they're willing to do that because they really care about me getting better. The second thing is the mindset that the only difference between criticism and feedback is the way you choose to hear it. So, someone gives you feedback, it's like an opportunity to get better. It's like, oh, this is all I have to do is fix X, Y, and Z, and then I can have A, B, and C, right? But if every time somebody gives you feedback, you hear it as criticism, like, oh, it's never enough. I feel like I do one thing well just to be told that there's 7 other things I need to improve on. It's always gonna feel very negative. It's always gonna feel like you have to be defensive. It's always gonna feel really crappy. So instead, if you choose to look at it like this is an opportunity for me to grow, not them expressing my limitations or what I'm so bad at, then you're always going to do better, because it's so much more about the perspective of how you're hearing what they're saying to you. This is actually from a book called Relentless. Tim Grover, the author of the book, he coached, Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. He's worked with a lot of really, really phenomenal athletes. And this is the mindset all of those people have. And then the last thing I'll say is that when someone's giving you feedback, it's so crucial that you respond well in that moment, because it's going to determine whether or not they're excited to continue to give you feedback. So if someone gives me feedback that I don't like, and my response is to be defensive, or my response is to argue, or my response is to shut down even and ice them out, they're not going to be motivated to continue to give me feedback. Now, here's the problem with that is you might think, oh, it's good, thank God I got them off my back. It's actually not, because what happens is now you're not getting feedback from anybody. So you're just out here going rogue, handling things up to what you believe is best, but you're not qualified. Everybody needs a mentor. Everybody needs a mentor. 8 years later, and I'm so grateful I have mentors, and I know I still need them, or I'm not where I am today running a business 8 years later, right? You need those people to be excited to continue to give you feedback. They're only going to be motivated if your response when they give you that feedback is that of a good student. If you take it in, genuinely digest it, doesn't mean you have to agree with it in that moment, right? But you do have to digest it, you do have to hear it. And then, of course, what you choose to do with it afterwards, you can either ask more questions or, realize that, hey, I genuinely do need to do better. But that's my 2 cents on, obviously, how to be a great student and genuinely have a student mentality.